Bugchasing, and Happy New Year's. Well, if you follow my game channel, you would know there'd be new videos there. So hit us up on Moonlight Gaming. Anyway, for any new viewers, I'm Moonlight-kun, part of the twin artist duo called Moonliightartist. I know, very original. Thank you very much. It was my idea. And for today's video, I'll be showcasing one of our original paintings, The Birth of Ebola. So, this was an idea we conjured up a couple of years ago, but we decided to finish it once and for all. And in case you can't tell, or if you're that uncultured, it's based on Botticelli's The Birth of Venus. And here we have the titular Ebola-chan in the center being birthed from a river, along with Lord AIDS from the right, and Marburg-chan from the left. Now, if some of you are Zoomers who are 10 years old, then you'll know how popular Ebola-chan was a few years ago, and I bet you're wondering, why now? Isn't Ebola-chan a dead meme? Nope, nuh-uh. Well, you guys were too worried about the failed coof epidemic. Ebola-chan's been picking up her slack in Africa, and there have been a few outbreaks back in the past year, so who knows? Our goddess Ebola-chan, aka Little Ebby, could be making a comeback, so be prepared for her pandemic. So, as I guide you along this wonderful art video, let me enlighten you with what these diseases can do to you. You know, it doesn't hurt to learn a little, starting with Ebola, or aka Ebola hemorrhagic fever. As usual, it came from Africa, no surprise, and it was named after a river of the same name, somewhere in Zaire, Africa. Or some people speculate Little Ebby might have emerged from Sudan. Either way, Africa is still a shithole. Now, Ebola is very interspecies. It can transmit between human and animal, and vice versa. Well, hey, at least it doesn't discriminate. And if you even touch an affected corpse, or eat its meat that contains the virus, even you will feel the love of our goddess Ebola-chan. Oh yeah, I think, no, according to my notes, Ebola can even be passed through sexual contact, so you're also screwed, Coomers. Now, surprisingly, since Africa is not very clean, Little Ebby can also be spread through hospitals. And this has been happening since 1976, so, and most of these outbreaks have been happening near the Congo for some reason. As a matter of fact, I list out what countries were mostly affected throughout the years. From 2000 to 2017, Uganda, Ebola in Congo, the Congo in 2003, 2004, South Sudan, 2007, Congo and Uganda, 2008, Philippines, in the Philippines via pigs. I wonder where that come from. Nope, never get exports from Africa. Okay, 2011 and 12, Uganda, 2012 and 2014, the Congo. Damn, there's a huge Congo line. 2014 and 2016, West Africa, and 2017, Congo, again. Alright. Now for little Abby's symptoms. There's fever, severe headache, muscle pain, weakness, fatigue, diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal pain, unexplained hemorrhage. Sounds like what you normally get from Chipotle's. But what do I know? Continuing. As of now, Ebola-chan has no cure. But there have been some testing for the past several years, but nothing's been out to the public. And let's face it, most of these Africans don't trust Big Pharma. Well, not that I blame them, but I don't blame them for not trusting foreign medical services, but touching infected corpses and eating bat meat isn't exactly a best way of avoiding little Abby. And I'll admit, even though I didn't design Ebola-chan herself, she was my muse in creating personifying diseases into anime characters. Who knows, we may get to see her in other pieces of my work. Oh, and here's a little known fact. Since Ebola was named after a river, obviously this homage to birth of Venus is more aptly suits her. So yeah. Well, that's all I have to say about our goddess Ebola-chan. But before I switch and talk about the other diseases, let us remind ourselves, she is way more potent than Corona-chan, and make sure you pray and bow to your altar, and make sure Ebola-chan causes another pandemic, and make sure she reaches worldwide. Oof. And is there anything else? And here's another awkward transition. This painting of mine will be sold on Etsy and Redbubble and DeviantArt and ArtStation. So check all our socials down in the description. And also all of our social media is on my link page, the flow page, and iLink websites. So give them a try. And before we move on to the subject, here's a word from our sponsors. Yo Moonies, this video is sponsored by Skillshare, an amazing website filled with actual pros in their field who won't indoctrinate your kids into commies, and even give them real professions. If you're a high school graduate, Skillshare can provide that education without you getting raped as a female, or getting falsely accused of rape if you're male. And you won't get raped by chewy loan sharks. Remember the phrase, low membership a day keeps the student loans away. Join Skillshare, then get married, but not to the banks. And we're back, folks. Hi everyone, and to all new viewers, I'm Moonliightartist. I'm the smartest sister of the twin duo group Moonliightartist, and welcome, and thank you for watching our video up to this point. So now I'll be explaining what AIDS and Marburg's disease are. I'm sure you've heard of one and not the other. So sit back and relax and enjoy. Enjoy the show, everyone. Alright, starting with Lord AIDS over to the right. This disease was supposedly found in Africa somewhere around the 1920s, and especially among apes. Or is that among Africans? But considering the time, people weren't aware how many people were infected through HIV. Oh, and one more thing. AIDS is just a larger symptom of the virus called HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. And AIDS is called acquired immune deficiency syndrome. It used to be known as GRIDS. Gay-related immune deficiency syndrome. And I'll explain that right in a moment. Alright. If you were living in the 70s or the 80s, you're probably being over the head about AIDS. Basically, if you got HIV, you're fucked with the capital F, which tends to lead to AIDS if untreated. Well, even if you get HIV nowadays, you're gonna have to pay for a cocktail of medicine, and as we all know, not every person's rich, or else we all be Magic Johnson. AIDS very dangerous back when it was first discovered in the 1970s was that it could pretty much kill you by weakening your immune system, which would then make you susceptible to other diseases. So getting AIDS was pretty much like getting doused in gasoline instead of flame. Now I gotta say, it really makes you wonder where AIDS really come from. I mean, people say it came from monkeys, but what? Did someone eat a monkey? Or did someone screw a monkey? I'm willing to guess either one. But I like to go with the reasonable answer. It's God's punishment. But that's for a different topic. Or you can sort your reasoning out in the comments. Now, when it comes to the big red, white, and blue America, AIDS was first discovered in the 1970s. And the symptoms that the virus has was well, not only a decreasing number of T cells in your immune system, but chills, fevers, sweats, swollen lymph glands, weakness, and weight loss. Now try searching up AIDS patients in Google Image and see what you get. Especially type in sarcoma and bruises too. Trust me, it'll be fun. Moving on. So yeah. During the 1970s and 80s and even the 90s, AIDS was pretty much the modern-day bubonic plague, and people were dying left and right from being sexual degenerates. Oh boy. Now, in all honesty, it's not that hard to avoid AIDS. Just don't do drugs, especially needles, and don't sleep around. It really makes you wonder, if it wasn't for the so-called sexual revolution, and if everyone was monogamous, then the AIDS crisis wouldn't have happened. And you know I'm right, niggas. Now, scientists managed to discover that AIDS AIDS originated from Central Africa. Who would have thought? But, but I would like to extrapolate why it was first called grids. And it all started with a man named Gayton Dugas. Oh, okay. So it was the early 1970s or in late 1960s, whatever, the age of sexual degeneracy. And there was this gay Canadian air flight attendant called Gayton Dugas. And and he decided to practice his tribe's most common practice, which was sleeping around. And before he knew it, he started ending up having purple lesions and bruises all over his chest, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. Even though he was showing the first signs of HIV and AIDS, he never thought to go to the hospital or tell his hookup partners. As a matter of fact, one of his quotes was, "I have gay cancer, and now you do, and you will die." Something along those lines. Now, does that sound like a mentally healthy, insane man? No. So, I didn't even know Gayton Dugas was pretty much the first person to have notable symptoms of it. Technically, he's not patient zero, because apparently AIDS managed to transmit to Haiti during the 1960s. I swear, it's like shithole third world countries are just destined to die in disease and dirt and filth. But anyway, like I was saying, Gayton Dugas may not be patient zero, but he sort of propagate it. he sort of spread the virus. He sort of spread the virus. Sorry about that. Oh boy. So yeah, folks, here's a history lesson. Every time you wonder why AIDS was called grids, just think of Gayton Dugas and all the men he screwed, and all the other people those men screwed. It's almost like sexual degeneracy has consequences. Unfortunately, a certain community still hasn't learned from that. Even today, spreading AIDS is now become a fetish among a certain community. It's called Bugchasing. There's a documentary called The Gift that explains all about it. Bugchasing. Deliberately spreading AIDS among bathhouses and gay clubs and whatnot. Now let me ask you, is this certain tribe, this certain community, normal just like you and me? I'll leave that up to you in the comments, but I already know the answer. Thank you very much. Ooh. Well, if you want to know more about HIV and AIDS and yada yada yada, I'll leave the links in the description. Well, yeah. Oh, and one more thing. Even as we speak now, the AIDS have 60 different symptoms, but modern medicine can only treat one of them. Furthermore, in America, AIDS is spreading among a certain community, and we all know which one, and AIDS is becoming medical resistant. The quote from a certain YouTuber called Common Filth, there's pretty much Med-resistant AIDS. Pause loads. Don't look up common filth. He also exposes the bug-chasing subculture. So, what have we learned today, folks? Don't do needles. Don't be a degenerate. Don't be bisexual. And you'll avoid AIDS. Simple as that. Oh. And, don't be a coal burner, too. Oh, and, one more thing. Even though there's treatment for AIDS and HIV, would you rather live a life dependent on medication? Or would you rather, be monogamous, wait until marriage, and read your Bible every day? I choose option 1 because I have a conscience. Yeah. And before we discuss our next disease, Marburg, here's a word from our sponsors. See you soon, guys. In honor of Black History Month, I, Moonliight-chan, celebrate Colfax. Colfax is an informative database that describes the harrowing tales of black males breaking free from their white female oppressors. These men of color, had to defend themselves from these conniving white people who would mistreat them or refuse to give them reparations and see it. Look at these white hoes. They're getting ready to Emmett Till these poor black men. Finally, this website is co-founded by Elisa Garza and Obo Tometi, who also discovered George Soros' plan of miscegenation. So please support this black-owned business and ignore the toxic masculinity that resulted from black single mothers. Deuces. Alright, Moonies, last but not least is the disease called Marburg virus disease, or just Marburg for short. Marburg-chan, as seen by the woman towards the left, is technically a relative of Ebola-chan. Literally, they both share the same symptoms of hemorrhagia, chills, fevers, and when it comes down to it, you're screwed if you get either Marburg or Ebola. So basically, stay the hell away from Africa if you value your life. Now, if you notice her depiction, she's not a follower of O.J. Simpson, but those are actual rashes that can turn into actual bulbs. When someone is infected with Marburg, they can develop these severe rashes all throughout their body. So yeah, like I said, stay away from Africa. If you're wondering why she has a white complexion, I would just say it's artistic liberty. But in terms of the history of the disease, Marburg was discovered in Germany when scientists took monkeys from Uganda and noticed they carried that disease, and there was an outbreak in Marburg and Frankfurt, Germany. So when it comes down to it, Whitey took something from the blacks and gave it back to Africa. So you better be careful if you want reparations from them. So, in reference to Marburg, it's just as fatal as Ebola, but somehow there hasn't been that many outbreaks, oddly enough. But just like her cousin, Marburg does share some potential. After all, Marburg was discovered in 1967 in Germany, and Ebola was discovered in 1976. What are the odds? Anyway, if you're wondering why she's depicted as a fair-skinned woman, well, I'll leave that up to your imagination. I'll just say it's artistic liberties. Furthermore, Marburg-chan, she actually was slightly popular on the internet during the time Ebola-chan was, but she wasn't exactly that well known, and I decided to include her because I can't just leave out family members, you know, even if they are diseases. But in technical terms, let's move on to Marburg's symptom. Alright, so between 2 days to 3 weeks, the symptoms of Marburg's are marked by fever, chills, headaches, and myalgia. And shortly afterwards, victims will suddenly have a rash appear on their bodies. A sore throat, chest pain, vomiting, nausea, abdominal pain, and diarrhea may appear. Damn. Even worse, you can suffer from pancreas inflammation, liver failure, shock, delirium, weight loss, hemorrhagia. So, ultimately, Marburg can be mistaken for Ebola or malaria or typhoid fever. Which goes to show you to avoid third world countries like their Sodom and Gomorrah. Really, take my advice. So guys, when it comes to this wonderful painting created by us, Moonliightartists, it incorporates a fantastical homage to Birth of Venus while offering our own special touches and references to real-life diseases and their symptoms. Well guys, I hope you liked this video. Subscribe, leave a like, or even a dislike. We can handle criticism. And please join our second channel, Moonlight Gaming. We also have a third channel called Moonlight Live. And we also post our videos on alt websites such as Rumble, Odyssey, BitSoup, and many more. All included down in our All My Links, iLinks, and Flow Page websites. If you want to see our artwork, follow us on Instagram, DeviantArt, ArtStation, and many more websites. Well guys, it was nice talking to you. Thanks for watching my vid. I forgot to mention, I used Krita when I created this painting. If you want to contribute to us, we also have a Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal down below in the description. Thank you, Moonies. Thanks for watching this vid, and see you on the other side of the moon. Goodbye. Thank you. See ya. For the grand finale, we welcome you to our side of the moon. Make sure you subscribe and follow us to see our exquisite artwork, as well as our second channel, Moonlight Gaming. And if you want, don't forget to support us too. I'm Moonlight-kun. I'm Moonlight-chan. And we're beyond this world. Bye!